live.
Hello, 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 hello.
Matteo.
Oh, Savannah's watching her phone in the background.
Let me turn the volume down on this.
This guy says hello.
Oh, Matteo.
Are we actually on?
Yes, we are.
All right.
My phone is playing an ad right now for starting the live, as YouTube
you're
does.
Watching us
There
on
we
the
are.
thing? That is so weird. Creepy.
Hi, guys. We're live. We're here for our very first Wednesday live. We're going to do this.
This guy is ready for it, huh?
We're going to do this every Wednesday throughout the summer while we're building the new Unicel. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, maybe not every Wednesday.
We'll see how busy we get. We'll see how it goes. But we did just kind of want to get to know you guys a little bit better. And every time we go live, we talk about how much we enjoy it. And then we don't go live again for a while.
Yeah.
So let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if everything's going well. I'm kind of monitoring on my phone. So
That's creeped me out.
It's us.
Yeah, we're on two screens. So I'll see you later, Mr. Matteo.
Oh, yeah. We've loud and clear. We're all good.
Loud and clear. Very good question.
Hello, friends.
I like clear more than loud, but both can be okay.
Yes. If you have any questions for us, we just
loud and clear.
announced the Unicel, which is a little secret we have been keeping from you guys for a few weeks.
A few years now.
We've had it a few years. And so it feels really good to be able to announce that. We've been kind of cooking all that up behind the scenes, and it was really fun to put out the full video of it and finally see everybody's reactions, because it is not a shuttle bus, as you saw. We're kind of moving into a different territory.
Yeah, it's similar but different. The dimensions are pretty close. So a lot of the internal stuff is similar, but yeah, there's definitely some different elements about it. And we're already kind of figuring some of that out, looking at it.
Yeah, we really were drawn to the Unicels because they are honestly really similar shaped to the shuttle buses. We kind of, for a very small moment, really considered a box truck, and we were looking through all the listings, and one of the Unicels popped up, and we went, oh my God, what is that? And we were drawn to it because of the curve of the front, and box trucks are just that. They're boxy and they're not very aerodynamic, and the Unicel looks a lot better, and it sort of has that look.
The aesthetic is really nice.
Yeah.
And even the box trucks that have that curved front, I found it's just an add-on that's actually only for aerodynamics, and it's only outside, that it actually isn't built in. So you don't get that space for an overcab. It's just just like a shield, basically. It's just a deflector.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Unicels, they look nice.
So we were pretty interested in them from the moment that we saw them. And then we figured out that they're a Buffalo-based company. And the closest city to us where we build is Buffalo, which is just a really weird coincidence. So it's been a journey, because originally we thought we were going to do a shuttle bus, of course. You know, we wanted to do something similar to what we did last summer, but I was quoted insane numbers over and over and over for shuttle buses. We were just scratching our heads like, we don't have the budget for a $90,000 vehicle.
Yeah, going for more than new vehicles, going for more than a new van or a new box van.
Yeah, we could be getting a brand new van or something for those prices, already built out. Like almost $100,000 for a used shuttle bus. I was just really disheartened, basically. I was getting really frustrated, and we were starting to think, hey, this is not going to happen. We need to pivot and think of something different.
Yeah, and you talk to a lot of people in that business, and just like everything else, the last few years it's been a mess. So there wasn't as many being produced, and then that goes back even further to like these companies just aren't getting chassis from Ford and Chevy and Dodge and stuff. So so something from a few years ago is going like it's new because there just hasn't been a lot put out. So there aren't enough vehicles. I mean, we're seeing that. Everyone is seeing that in every aspect of vehicles, cars to RVs to buses, vans, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough out there if you're trying to buy a used vehicle. Man, it's so difficult. We have a question. Is the Unicel more floor space than what you have?
Sorry.
Bless you.
Allergy season is starting. You can hear it in my voice too.
Drew is suffering.
First couple weeks of June every year kill me.
Yes, it is more floor space. It's a little bit wider.
Yeah, it doesn't have the curve, so it's like the full width the whole way.
Right. Because our bus goes like this. The walls are really kind of dramatically curved. And so at its widest point, it's as wide as the Unicel, but it comes in at the top and a little bit at the floor.
Yeah.
So we're just maximizing that in the Unicel. It's that widest point all the way, which is so much room. We just stand in it every day and we're like, it's square.
Yeah.
You don't have to scribe any curves. And
that's the exciting part for sure.
It feels like a lot of space without the curves to the walls.
And the bus last year was actually a bit narrower than our bus. So yeah, it feels a lot bigger because the last thing we built in, it's not a ton smaller, but it is a little bit thinner. So now you're like jumping back a bunch.
Yeah.
It's a little taller too. There's a little more headroom. I think at the end of the day with the floor and ceiling, it'll be similar to ours, but I think it's going to be a couple inches higher, probably like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Even after everything is done.
Garrett's here. He says Drew in Savannah, I guess.
Oh, hey, what's up? Sorry, these allergies are killing me right now. It's blown in this window. Also, we're not in our bus, as you can probably see.
Yep, that is another thing. Our own bus decided to rebel against us after the purchase of the Unicel, and it blew a brake line. So
good and bad timing, I guess.
It blew a brake line in a really, really bad spot, and we decided to just take it to a mechanic that we know locally that he could fix it. So it is at the mechanic shop. I think it was throwing a fit. It saw us by the Unicel and was like, no.
Yeah, we took a look at it, but it was like way up close to the frame. Like you couldn't even get at it without, I think you'd have to have a lift probably.
Yeah. And then we were going to live stream from the shop, but there was a metal roof on that building, and then our tent is canvas, and it's been raining on and off all day, and you cannot do anything audio related in either of those buildings if it's raining. So yeah, we're at my parents' house.
You got more questions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett says build a sidecar on it. It's already wide enough.
Thinking about a sidecar, because when you're already 8 foot wide and barely fit in a lane, probably a good idea. At least you could take it on like a dirt road.
Yeah.
A sidecar.
Yeah. Let's see. Probably so off topic, but what's the max height in your shuttle? P.S. Love you guys. Thank
Headroom?
you.
Is that what they mean?
Probably inside headroom.
In our bus?
What's the max height in our shuttle?
Ours is like about 6'3".
Yeah.
6'2",
and
6'3".
That's with inside headroom.
Yeah, so that's after we did the floor with insulation, subfloor, the main floor, and then the furring strips, insulation, and the ceiling. After all that, we were still at it's over 6'2". I'm 6'2" and like a quarter, and I can stand in there. So it's about 6'3", I think.
Yes. And the height that we're starting with in the Unicel is really big. It's way taller than any other vehicle that we've owned, but you have to remember that you're insulating the floor and you're insulating the ceiling, and you do both of those in a shuttle bus as well, and so it's going to bring you down a few inches. So if you're really worried about height, you need to go for a vehicle that's way taller than you need it to be, because we hear from people a lot about height. Like, people will email us and say, either myself or my partner is 6'3", 6'4". We're really worried about being able to stand up. And so
you got to always ask whoever's selling that to actually get a measuring tape on it, because they'll be like, it's got to be like almost 7 feet. And then they measure it and it's like 5'10". But there are some taller shuttle buses. Actually, right before we got this, there was one bus I found that was like reasonably priced, mileage and all that. And the guy told me it was like, he gave me that line. It's got to be at least 6'6".
Yeah, he did.
I'm like, all right, cool. Can you measure it for me? And he came back with 6'7" actually in there.
Yeah.
And I saw another one. It was the same thing. So what company was that? It wasn't a Federal. It wasn't a StarCraft. It was that other brand.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
You can almost kind of tell if you look at what comes off of the cab, like that front part, whether it's curved or boxy. Once you've looked at it enough, you get a pretty good idea of the potential height, and you can see like, wow, that looks tall. Like that might be 6'4".
Yeah.
But with the Unicels, we were getting super excited for a little bit. When we started like digging into them, we naively thought we'd be able to easily go find them, but it was like everything else, they're like really hard to get. But they actually have a drop floor option where the wheel wells are still there, which is a pro and con. You have to work around it. But that one, the headroom is like 6'10" or something.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Very high.
It's like 5 inches lower. So the one we have is got just the pine floor flat across. So you're losing a few inches from that.
Right.
And I looked at, could we drop it? And it's like, no, they frame them differently. Like that frame has been built above the wheel wells.
But we don't have any wheel wells to build around.
Which is really nice.
So it's a give and a take.
And it's tall enough in there. It's still like going to be a little taller than our bus. So we're kind of looking at it, and we're just going to leave that, because the amount of effort to pull that out, and you're just going to have to put almost as much wood back in. You might gain like half an inch.
Yeah.
The weight would be nice, but it's still not going to be that much.
You got to decide if it's worth it. Currently building a 2003 E450. The curves aren't fun. No, we have our bus is an E450, and I'm not sure if it's the manufacturer. It would be the manufacturer that completely makes the body. So ours is Federal.
Yeah,
and
curvy.
It's on a Ford E450 chassis, and that thing has dramatic curves. We've been in a lot of other shuttle buses that friends have, and some of them are fairly straight, and ours is very dramatic.
Yeah, but the curves give it a lot of character. So
it does.
It's it's like everything. Yeah. It's all pros and cons. It's not necessarily bad, but it is challenging, especially when you're like doing walls and just even like furring strips and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you'll find it in the ceiling. If you have a real curved one, you got to notch that wood so it can bend with the ceiling.
The bus that we did last summer, the walls weren't curved as much.
No, they're pretty straight.
But the roof was super curved. As you probably saw if you watched that whole series, we were just fighting with that roof the whole time. The roof rack on our own bus took us a day. And that was our first build of that kind of a shuttle bus. We didn't really have that much experience, and it took us a day. This last bus, it was like a week to maybe 2 solid weeks just on getting the roof rack up on the roof. It was brutal.
Yeah, a lot of problem solving. You know, nothing you can't figure out. We did come up with good solutions, but it's a lot of problem solving for sure.
Your bus is taking revenge. I think it is. I really do. That's what I've said about it.
Oh, I know. So annoying. I don't know. I mean, it's better that it happened while we're like back in town.
Yeah.
And have a place to, like stay and all that, and like not on the road, but still never convenient for that kind of stuff.
Because we left out west. We've been out west all winter, and then we found the Unicel, and we kind of hustled back to get that. And we got the Unicel, got back to New York, and it blew the brake line. And so it's better that it happens here, that we have a place to stay, and not while we were on the way to pick up the Unicel and trying to facilitate all of that. So I guess if it has to happen,
yeah, right,
it's better to happen now. Hey guys, you're amazing. I love both of your last builds. Can't wait for this new challenge. You guys are going to slay it. Thank you. We can use some motivation. It's getting really warm, and we're in that part of the build process where we're making all the decisions and like making all the purchases, and so we appreciate the motivation.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good about the efficiency on this one. I mean, obviously that will play out more optimistic before you really got into all the dirty work, but we know the process pretty well now.
Yeah,
we felt like we knew it pretty good starting last build, but going through that full build and building that fully intending to sell, so like being extra critical of everything,
right,
I think it educated us that much more.
Definitely.
The first bus was like learning, second was refining, and this one, yeah, we kind of know the steps and we know what we need, what materials we want to get and all that, and pretty good idea of like even the quantities of a lot of it.
Yeah, it feels really good. I was thinking about that today because we worked on the Unicel, and I was thinking about how much just knowledge saves you time, saves you stress, just mentally. It doesn't take as much of a toll on you because you know, okay, I'm done framing the floor. Now it's time to insulate. Now I'm going to do my furring strips. For the furring strips, I need this, and I know I need that. And you just go and purchase it and then do the job. It's not like everything has to screech to a halt because you don't know what to do next, or you don't know how to do what you need to do next. So we feel that just the process is getting a little bit more fluid for us. There's definitely still those moments because we do not know everything. No one does. And there's like a million different disciplines to these builds. You're a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter. And so
yeah, it's still a grind at times.
It's a lot to learn.
It's like not every vehicle is unique, right? So a lot of the stuff will apply and go seamlessly, but there's going to be unique things. There was unique challenges from bus 1 to bus 2. But yeah, like you're saying, the first bus was like, what do you do next? And then you have to research that, right?
Yeah.
So we had some very small skill set from like, we did like a few renovations on our van that definitely like kind of got us understanding some of the process, but the full build from the start was like, whoa. And then it's like, well, what do you do next? Okay, you got to do this. Well, what does that mean? How does that work?
Yeah.
Wait, what thickness of wood? What's a furring strip? Like
it was definitely mentally draining.
A lot of just researching and asking questions, and that part was like, now it's like, there's still some research, but it's pretty much like, oh, I know that process. I know that process.
Right.
Do we have to adapt it? Okay. What's the amendment? Okay, make that amendment. Next process. You already know it. Like you are like 5 steps ahead.
Yep. Let's see. Are you putting in a 50 amp or 30 amp service?
Oh, on the power?
Is that the shore power?
Yeah, I'll probably just do 30. We don't really build it so much for like plugging in. We can give it that capability for sure, but it's really intended to be off grid, and I don't really see any need to have that much. Yeah,
we like to design our builds to be off grid. Like that's the point of the really hefty power system and all the solar panels. We try to put as much solar as we can fit, but we definitely understand that you want to have shore power. And especially if someone buys one of these builds, like you may want to stay at an RV park, stay at a friend's, stay at a family member's driveway and plug in, or something breaks and you want to plug your vehicle in while you're fixing it, or plug your house in while you're fixing it.
Yeah, unless you have some sort of particular power need, 30 amps going to suffice for pretty much everyone, even running AC, Generally, you don't really see 50 amp until you get to bigger RVs that might have 2 AC units.
Oh, the roof units.
And like a microwave. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you need, do it for sure. But 30 is like more than ample for like most people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You won't even use that.
So the answer is yes, 30 amp.
Yeah.
30 amp shore power. The person that asked about the headroom is saying my man is 6'7".
Oh shoot.
It's a tough one, but you could do it
6'7". You got to find the Unicel dropped floor one.
Yeah, a box truck or the dropped floor Unicel. You could definitely get that headroom.
Those are hard to find though.
Yeah. Are you guys going to sell the bus? If so, I may be interested. We're not sure.
You're debating.
We're not sure. We're finding it really hard to part with our own bus. We really love our house. So we're just going to see going forward. We're getting into the first few weeks of the build. And so we're going to make a decision and we'll let you guys know. But at the end, we have 2 vehicles. One will be sold.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming up if you're in the market for buying a build.
Maybe we'll sell both and move into a trailer that you pull on a bicycle. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible.
Or just a tent.
Anything's possible. Matteo would love that.
Yeah, we're not sure yet.
Did you guys sell the last build yet? Oh, yes. That we did an auction for that. So that's not the process we would be using again. We would do a different type of process for buying another build that we do. But that was gone right when that auction ended, and it went to its new home in December.
Yeah.
So we are in contact with the buyers semi-frequently, and they seem to be loving it, which is just everything that we hoped for that build. They use it, and that's what we wanted, just somebody to enjoy it.
Yeah. What's been nice is if they have a little question, most of it we can remember, but if there's something that we don't remember specifically, like there's video documentation of like almost all the process. So it's like, oh yeah, there's that support beam there. Like,
right.
We were talking the other day about AC installation, and we were kind of running through options, like where you could run ducting and power and all that.
Right.
And it was like, pretty sure this is whatever, but like pull up the channel, like, oh my gosh, here it's in the video. It's in episode 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
There's no other build that you would buy from someone that's better documented.
Well, there might be, but
than one of our builds.
Not that we're aware of.
Because like if you bought one of our buses or something like that, you could go back through and see like what's behind the bathroom wall. There's a video of us building it, you can see everything, which is kind of awesome because just knowing how something is made, if you didn't build it yourself but you're buying it, you can fix it easier. You know how to, like, if you want to install something new into the bus, it's just
there's been moments even where we use it to reference a certain part of a process, or we had a question about like a product we use, and it's like, oh yeah, I think that's in this episode. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Where's Matteo? Hi, Annie.
Matteo is passed out right here. I'm gonna disturb him.
It's almost 9:30 here, so it's Mateo's bedtime. Actually, pretty much all day is Mateo's bedtime. Yeah, he's always
sleeping. There he is. No, he's not too sleepy. I think he's just warm. It's a little warm in here.
Yep, there he is. Say hi.
He's leaning out for summer, guys. I do think he must have shed or something, because he looks like he got a haircut. And his hair is always short, but it's just, I don't know.
He's a short-haired dog. He does. I
know, but he looks like lighter. He's been doing good though. He's been hanging out in the cab while we've been messing around with the new.
Oh yeah, he loves running around in the Unicel because there's so much space.
He's like, okay, can I go back to bed?
Can I go back to sleep now?
Anyways, there he is. Say hi to the people.
What are you going to go with for solar on this one? That's a great question.
Yeah, we have been going through that over and over. I'm trying to do probably something similar to the last build, panel selection wise. Just like the fewest amount of big panels is just going to make the installation easier. But we are running into some issues where the problem is with those panels are really residential. You start getting to like the 350, 400 watts or more. A lot of places don't want to sell any more than a minimum of like a pallet.
Right.
And then sometimes the shipping is crazy, right? I thought I found the perfect panels the other day, and they were quoted as the shipping was like as much as the panels. And then you said you went to get a freight quote, and they just like, oh, actually, we don't have those. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, we've been anticipating all of these delays or like things being out of stock that we need for the build, and so far we actually have not run into that. Which is crazy because all we've been hearing about is like, I can't get this, I can't get that. This factory shut down with COVID. Now they're behind. And so everything's delayed. And like Ford, all the car manufacturers have a huge problem with chassis. Like you can't get a new vehicle. So we really thought that we would be running into that more often. And we haven't.
Only a couple things.
Which is suspicious. So we're not sure where that's going to pop up, but we know it's going to be somewhere in the build. Something won't be available, and it might be solar panels because we've tried to get 2 different panels, and one of them had over $900 in shipping for 3 panels, like, and we were like, no thank you.
Yeah, but overall I'm leaning towards minimum 24 volt. I might get 48 volt, new 48 volt system. It's not, I don't know, it has its advantages. It's definitely not a size of a system where like you need that. I think 24 is pretty much that money spot for a build like this size. Obviously, you get up to higher voltage, you get to run smaller wires, smaller charge controller, all that stuff. But most of those panels that are the 350 to 450 watts are, a lot of them are 48 or 24 because they're residential, really. So I'm trying to basically get some big 400 watt panels and run 3 of them, so I don't have to put together like 7 200 watt panels because it's just going to be more annoying, right? So we'll see. I don't know, it's always fun trying to figure out that jigsaw and trying to help actually somebody else with that. And it's like it's frustrating with the panels because like you can search by wattage but you can't really search by dimension, right? Though the more I look at them, I find they're all pretty similar sizes. There's like groups. There's the 200 watt range, like the 175 to like 210 watt range. They're all almost the same size, which makes sense because the cell capacity. But then it jumps to like 3 and up. There's really no like 250, 75 watt panels that, so if you like kind of look at the size of those compared to the size of like a 350 or 400 watt panel, like, oh, that might be perfect if I could find like a 250. And it's like they don't make those. Yeah. That might be also something with cells work in, series. So like they have to have a certain number of cells to add up. So I think it's just how it works out. And then it comes out at however many watts. But it's just a pain to search for them. Yeah, and that's the other thing we've been running into is deciding what we're going to do with the power system. Because if we are building for ourselves, Drew is going to build the battery bank from cells. But if we are going to sell the Unicel, it's a mouthful. Yeah, we're going to put a better, not better, but more user-friendly, a simpler one, battery system in that's a little more hands-off than building. I've been pretty into the idea of like getting one or two of those server rack batteries that are getting popular now. Yeah, it's just so simple, and they are like way more affordable than they used to be, but it still is. If you do it yourself, once you start getting into like, let's say, I don't know, 500, 800 amp hour range, it's like half the price. Yeah. 800 amp hours is going to be like $3,000. And then if you do it yourself, you could do it for like 15-ish, 1,500. The price is really coming down. It is overall. A lot better. So like the less power you're putting in battery wise, the less the effort to do your own thing is worth it. Because at 100 amp hours, you can do it cheap, but you can get a battery for like $500 now. Yeah. Or less. As long as you're not getting like Battleborn, or their prices are still crazy, but like the big name brands are still pricey, but there's like a lot of quality stuff now, way more than there was 2 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, this has been our latest project, is figuring out the solar and the power system, because we have to get the solar up on the roof before we can finish any of the inside, like ceiling or lights or anything with the ceiling on the inside. The roof rack has to already be up there, so that's gonna be one of the first things that we start doing.
Yeah, and the other thing with that is like choosing your voltage system. I've had a few thoughts about that lately. Is I'm doing 24 volt, I'm doing 12 volt, I'm doing 48. But you know what's going to dictate that is the panels, to a degree, are going to kind of dictate that, because you're not going to get 12 volt panels that are like 450 watts. So it might just be easier if you find the panels that fit your roof perfectly, whatever voltage that is. And then you go back from there and you get your charge controller. Then you build your battery bank, accordingly. So, these 24 volt panels fit perfectly. Now I'm going to 24 volt charger, and I'll build a 24 volt battery. The
good news is we have so much space on that roof. It is flat. Thank you. Flat roof. It actually has a very, very slight curve to it.
But I can't even notice
it. It is mostly flat, not like the bus from last year. So we are really excited to just be working with that roof. Tons of space, no curve. It's just a blank canvas.
And everyone's like, that's enough, Drew, rambling about batteries and solar panels.
We talk for a long time about each question. It's a good thing that they're not coming in super quick, because I don't think we could catch up.
Someone's sitting there asking a question about wood, and we're just going on about
you guys. You two will make another beautiful build. Thank you so much. I'm excited to decorate this one and maybe do something a little bit different. It is really, really hard for me to get away from green. I painted our bus green because I love earth tones. I'm gonna really try my hardest to do a different color, but I don't know.
It'll probably be green.
You guys should do the next season of Gutted. I don't know what that is. What is that?
I don't either.
Gutted. Like a show.
They gut like a house and rebuild it. Is that what it is?
I don't know. It sounds fun.
It sort of sounds like that.
Are y'all going to keep the Unicel and sell your bus? We're not sure.
Oh yeah, somebody asked that.
We talked about that a little farther back. If you weren't here, we're just going
back and forth on it right now.
It is such a nice vehicle. It's already such a nice build. There's so much space. We just stand in it and go like, oh my god, this is so cool. But we're finding it pretty difficult to not keep our bus. I can't imagine it being sold.
I think it'll probably be going back and forth on it for a little bit.
Yeah, we will let you know when we figure it out. But like we said, regardless, we have 2 vehicles right now. One will be gone by the end of the project.
Yeah.
What if you like one of your new builds better? Will you consider keeping it and selling yours? Yes, of course.
We're definitely considering.
We're considering it because, man,
it is tough.
It is nice.
Even last year, we pretty much had decided after almost immediately, pretty quickly, we decided we were selling it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we thought about but then you start building it. It's so nice and fresh, and like you improved on little things from like your build and just little differences, and you're like, man, this would be nice.
Yeah.
So
it's really, really
I'm sure. Like I actually had a moment like that today, just like kind of messing around with it. So we'll see.
Let's see. Okay. Hi. Matteo is so cute. I agree completely.
He's passed out again.
What is your number 1 piece of advice for someone wanting to start their first build? Be flexible. Be flexible with. So it says wanting to start their first build. So figure out what you like, but be flexible, especially right now, because everything is changing so quickly and prices are up and they're down and they're all over and they're crazy. Like we wanted to get a bus. We found the Unicel, and it's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a really fun build for us. And so just try not to get too stuck in what you think you want. Be open to different options, especially like different types of things inside of your build, like propane, electric, like the bed in the front, the bed in the back, just, different types of heaters, diesel, gas. I don't know that any one thing is like the best. It's just what works for you and what's going to work for your situation.
I think the thing I usually tell anybody is like, ask yourself why you're trying to do this. Right? Like, what is your reasoning to want to be, whether it's full-time or part-time, nomadic, whatever you want to call it? Why? Do you want to go play music? That's why we moved in a van, so it was easier for us to do that more.
Right.
Do you want to go like snowboard and ski or whatever it is? Do you want to rock climb? Cool. So you go build back from that point. If it's just because you just want to do it, then that's your reason. So then it would be more maybe about the aesthetic.
You just want to make a change.
Yeah. So it's really like, why do you want to do it? Why do you want to live that? And what does that life you're trying to create entail? But it's from the vehicle standpoint. Yeah, be flexible for sure. That being said, if you're super into a certain thing, that's what you want. You want it. But if you're open to like a few different ideas, there's all kinds of different cool vehicles. And like, if you're creative, you can come up with different ideas. So be flexible and figure out why you're trying to do it in the first place.
Yeah. Ultimately, you're getting into it because the lifestyle allows you to do something that you enjoy, or it's helping you get to a place that you want to be. It's less like paint colors and cabinet styles. And, at the end of the day, that's going to be your life if you're doing that build. So make sure that's something that you enjoy and that you're doing something that you enjoy.
One other thing I would say to that is, keep it, if it's your first time doing any sort of a build or something, keep it like pretty simple.
Yeah, you don't need a lot.
If you don't have some crazy clear vision of what you want, honestly, if you just build something simpler and maybe smaller, especially if it's a single person, I would start with a smaller vehicle. And then you do it for a year or 2 years, and you say, oh, I love this. By then you're going to have a better idea what you really want and need anyways. Or you're going to be like, that was cool, but I'm ready to go do this different thing with my life. Now you've put less into it. You've put less stress in your life. You've given your chance to like go out and live that life quicker. So yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of times like that's something to consider.
Yeah, our first van that we moved into was already built out because it was a vintage camper van. It was an 87 Coachman, so it was made by Coachman.
Yeah.
And we just did a few things and got on the road. We didn't actually like rip things out and renovate it for years down the line.
Yeah.
Like,
we changed like one closet in the back.
We took that out, built a whole bathroom thing that
we then changed 2 years later once we realized the better use of the space.
How many miles are on the Unicel? 1,000 miles on the Unicel, which is so low. It's a 2021. We realized that we filmed a little walkthrough tour for you. Sunday's video, we're just gonna kind of talk about the vehicle and show you around. We didn't say the year or mileage. So it's a 2021, has 1,000 miles on it, practically brand new. Like we mentioned in the last video, it was ordered before COVID.
Yeah.
And then of course COVID hit in 2020.
It got delayed forever. They didn't get it forever.
Delayed, yeah. And
by the time by the
time it was actually produced, the buyer had gotten vehicles from somewhere else. They didn't want it. Their vehicles or their business scaled down.
Yeah, it was the fleet thing. Yeah.
So it was just kind of
it's like a weird leftover we got lucky to find because they're hard to find of like any year or mileage.
Right. Oh, okay. I'm going to do my best. Saludos a Drew y Savannah de la familia Felix de Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, greetings from the
Hola,
Felix family.
Benjamin.
Hola. What's up?
Garrett says paint it black.
Oh, Garrett,
of course.
come on, man. You're always trying to.
Garrett paints everything black.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but when the space isn't that big.
And dark purple.
Maybe we'll go dark purple. Maybe
Stoked.
we'll go black.
Hey, beautiful people, what's up? Hi. Hey, Brian. What did you miss? We're just chatting. We're just talking about the Unicel. Brian Davis.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Gutted was the TV show this year where a team of van lifers build either a bus, van, or RV in 5 days together.
5 days?
Okay. No, I remember seeing like some people that I follow was involved with this.
Come on.
Yeah, it looked really cool. That would be really
Hold
fun.
on, time out. 5 days.
Yeah.
So was it one of these TV things, 5 days, where like, we're gonna build this, but really there's like contractor crew of like 100 guys there?
No, they brought in the builders and they did the work.
5 days.
Yeah, they hustled.
How many people were on it?
There was like quite a few people on each team.
Well, I feel like sick now.
I want that many people.
Jeez, I wish we could build one in 50 days. I'd be happy.
I know.
100 days.
Gutted is a competition of build. Yeah, in 5 days.
That's crazy.
It was pretty cool.
So what? You just sub out. Everybody does.
I remember this. I just didn't know what it was called. Yeah.
I mean,
that's
I guess
super cool.
I haven't seen the show, so I don't know how grand these builds are. Maybe they're amazing, but if you kept it utilitarian enough and you just said you're on cabinets, you're on power,
and you're already a builder and you have the experience, absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, was it a van too? So it's smaller?
They did a van, a bus, and an RV.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even at like a utilitarian level, it's still pretty
it's
crazy.
It's a super cool idea. It's a really cool premise. I must see the rig. We showed it in the video that came out Sunday. We're going to give you a little tour this Sunday, a little walk around, so you can see what it looks like. It's like a curvier box van.
It's already been described by somebody as the only aesthetically pleasing box van.
Yeah.
Not my words. Someone commented that.
It's a box van that's like curved and it's one fiberglass body. So that's why we were drawn to it, because no leaks, no seams to seal, which can be a problem with the shuttle buses. They're all kinds of different big panels and stuff.
It looks slick.
And it actually gets really good gas mileage for a vehicle of its size. We were getting 13.
I think 16 highway.
But 13
combined.
City.
Combined.
16 highway, yeah. Which is pretty good. It's not fully loaded down with a build yet, but it's way better than our bus.
So that's getting like 9 to 10.
It's way better than we even got with our bus empty.
Yeah, for sure.
It was fun to watch. They should do a shuttle category, and we'll be there. It'd be awesome.
What's this thing?
Oh, that's a super chat.
Woo!
Okay, I scrolled down far enough to see
you gotta go that. You're supposed to go.
Mark, thank you so much. $5 super chat. Are you guys going to show step by step with your new build on YouTube? Absolutely. Yes, we are going to do the same style that we did last summer with that shuttle bus. And I think it'll be fun to have different types of builds shown in that style. Because thinking about it now, we could have done another shuttle bus this summer, of course, but it would have kind of been a repeat of the last build, which isn't as fun to watch.
Yeah.
We
were worried about that.
It would be interesting, but we are always doing different things, but a completely different vehicle is way more fun to watch. So it actually worked out well. We're going to show all the steps just like we did with the bus, from beginning to end.
There'll be certain components that are the same. I think what would be interesting is the things that are similar but different, right? So the power system will be a little different, but it'll be similar. They'll just be using different components. Like there's some new things that we haven't dealt with, like making windows and doors and that kind of stuff, as opposed to deleting them.
Yep.
So I think there's going to be enough stuff that it will be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we've never put in windows or doors before because we were always starting with the shuttle that already has way too many of those things. Windows all over the place. So many that we would have to cover them up.
Yeah.
So we had the opposite problem. And now it's kind of just, where do we want them? Which is way better. You can insulate this vehicle a lot better, I think.
What do we got?
JR, will the build be similar to the 2 previous builds, or will you do something completely different?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll find out.
Probably pretty similar.
Yeah, we
debated, but
we've been going back and forth with this because we really love our layout. Of course, we've done it in 2 builds. We wouldn't have repeated it once if we didn't love it. And we're finding it pretty difficult to move away from that because it's like a little puzzle. You change one thing and everything else shifts around, but we'll have to see where we land.
Yeah, if you take the current layout and tweak it almost at all, you almost have to just do everything different. Because all of a sudden things don't fit. So then things have to move, and then that moves, and then it's like you got to go back to square one almost.
Yeah.
And there's completely different ways we could do it.
There's a lot of reasons why we chose that layout as well, not just the aesthetics, but like weight distribution from side to side and front to back. And so batteries, butcher block countertops, tile walls, water tanks, like everything is pretty well distributed. And we know that from years of living in this layout, we haven't had any kind of weird issues with our bus being lopsided. Right. So it's time tested. It's hard to move away from it.
Yeah, if we adapt the same style, it'll go a lot faster. So
you are both so talented about building that seems to be your forte more than traveling. Love it all. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really enjoy it. Of course, we wouldn't be doing another build if we didn't enjoy it. Is the Unicel gas or diesel? How will gas mileage differ with higher gas prices? Yeah, that is a big topic of discussion in the community. Is gas prices are so crazy.
It's gas. We just said like it gets, I think, about 16 highway.
Yeah.
And like 13 city, which is definitely better than our shuttle bus by quite a bit. So it might go down a bit once it's heavy, but it is very aerodynamic, and they actually advertise that quite a bit in their pitch for selling those Unicel bodies.
Yeah, if you go on their website, they talk a lot about the aerodynamics of the vehicle and how you can save with gas money by driving one of those. Of course, they mean for a fleet.
Yeah.
But it works the same as a camper.
Yeah, and remember, if you just, stay in one spot, to spend as much gas. So.
Drive less, your rent goes down.
Find those good spots and stay for longer.
Yep. Love fiberglass. The only way to go, in my opinion. No leaks in 7 years in owning mine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's this blue thing?
That is another super chat. Mark again.
Hey, yeah. Oh, it looks like McDonald's because it's or red M&M.
It looks like an M&M.
I don't see that well.
Are you guys going to keep the new build? We are unsure. We're going back and forth because it's really nice. It's really, really nice. And every day we stand in it and we go, this is really, really nice. But it breaks our hearts a little bit to think about selling our bus. We built that in 2020. It's what we started the channel with. It's kind of the pictures of it is what drew people to our builds and to our channel, and it's been our home ever since then. So we got to see in the next few months. We're definitely not going to make you wait until the very end. We will let you know when we figure it out, but at the end, one vehicle's got to go, the bus or the Unicel. Let's see. Can't wait to watch. Are you planning to put in a side door? What about the back roll up, keeping it mobile?
Yep. Side door. Definitely side door. And the back door, you're gonna have to wait and see on that.
Yeah. We it's definitely something that needs to be dealt with. The roll door is not a great option because when it comes up, it's not one of the ones that kind of coils. It just covers the whole ceiling when it comes up, which just does not work because you cover the lights, you cover your whole ceiling. There would be cabinets in the way. So
it seemed drafty, leaky.
Definitely.
All those little pivot point wheels, those always rust out. So we're definitely taking that off.
Right.
Stay tuned to find out what we do with it.
Oh, Mark sent another super chat. Thank you so much. $2 super chat. You guys should. We should keep it. Thinks we should keep it.
All right. Well, thank you.
It is nice.
Maybe.
Let's see. I'm curious, would you guys ever make a business of building these vehicles? We've sold one of them. We built to sell last year. I guess if we sell the Unicel, that would be a build to sell.
So sort of, but not.
Sell Unicel.
Like all the way.
But to start really just getting a space and pumping out these builds, probably not. We really enjoy putting a lot of detail into our builds. Not to say that other builders do not, but if you start getting bigger, you start getting maybe some employees and things like that. And we just like the personal touch to building these. Probably not. It makes them a little bit more unique, I guess, that there's only a few in the world, and we like that about it.
Yeah, it turns into a whole nother process when you start scaling and bringing other people in. And I don't know. It's weird. It's cool, but at this point, we don't want it to be our entire life.
Yeah, being that detailed isn't good for business.
It's certainly like something we've talked about, pros and cons on it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, no. We're just doing another one, and I don't know. We will reevaluate where we are at the end of this year.
Taking it slow.
Yeah.
Will you guys ever do a schoolie? Yeah. We've never completely ruled that out or said, like, we will not do a school bus. We just never have. And we were pushed towards the Unicel this year. So we just haven't really decided to go that direction. But there's not any particular reason. I guess doing the roof raise, which we're completely capable of with me learning to weld, having my dad as well. There's just so many welders around us that it would actually be kind of convenient to do a school bus because they are all metal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just haven't gone that direction quite yet, but we can't rule it out completely for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely not like no, we'll never do it, but not in the plans per se either.
Yeah, we just went for the shuttle buses after our van, and there's really not a solid reason why we didn't go for a school bus. We just ended up liking the shuttle, and we found one that was available. And so there's nothing wrong with school buses. We just kind of fell into the shuttle bus space and
the shuttle
being in it.
It met a ton of the criteria of what we wanted.
Yeah.
Size wise, and then on top of it, we just really like the aesthetic of it. Quite a bit. I think more than I've seen some schoolies that I do like, but some of them aren't the most appealing to me. But that's just a personal aesthetic thing. But I have seen some really nice ones as well.
There have been some good builds, and with your height, we would have to do a roof raise.
Yeah, that was the other part is. There are some taller ones, but most you got to raise. And there's more shuttles available that are over 6 foot headroom.
Yeah.
A lot of shuttles are like 6'2" and up. Some of them are like 6'4", 6'6". So one of like the many things that we had to check boxes for what we wanted, and it just sort of landed on the shuttle.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe is the answer.
Yeah.
The very long answer of maybe.
People are like, what are they even talking about anymore?
I know. Maybe we'll get more directional as the Wednesdays go by. We'll stay on track better. Sing your intro and outro song. It's great.
Oh, jeez.
Our guitars are in our bus, which is at the mechanic shop.
Which is horrible, actually.
But other Wednesdays, we'll bring our guitars for sure. Is there a place to buy your songs? Of course. I'm on Spotify.
And no.
Not Drew's yet. We got to work on that.
No, Drew's nowhere.
You two are going to figure out an awesome way to figure out the backdoor issue. I see a fantastic view for everywhere you travel. I agree. As soon as we got into the Unicel and was looking at the Unicels, I immediately thought to myself, this huge back door, I want to keep that open. You know, I don't want to like build a big wall or something like that to really section it off, because I think I would sacrifice a little bit of the insulation by having doors in the back and being able to open them up and see all those beautiful views on, you know, BLM land, all those places that we go to camp. You could put a screen, like a zipper screen door over it to keep the bugs out or whatever you need to do. But I think it's just so dreamy being able to open those doors.
So I should scratch that back wall plan I was working on. Is that what you're saying?
Throw it out.
Oh, man. Okay.
You guys are artists. It's hard for our kind to do things assembly line.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe it's because we're musicians and we're just, I don't know. We put our whole heart into everything we do. We care so much about it that to think about watering down a build to just put, you know, like 20 of them out a year hurts my heart a little bit. And I've definitely seen builders that do really great builds, and they do a lot of them custom to the customer. And I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. So for now, we just have to do our one build a year.
That might be another level of like passion for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
We haven't figured that out. So unfortunately, we can't do that yet. Let's see. We're going to just do an hour every Wednesday. So we're coming up on an hour. I'm just going to read these last few comments and then we'll get out of here. You have the most comprehensive build series I've watched. Thank you. Ironically, I decided not to build after watching, but I'm grateful you covered every aspect of what it takes.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. If you watch all, you're like, wait, this is available, and there's a mattress in the back. That sounds good. Or there's a pre-built one, yeah.
To be honest, I think that is just as valuable. If you watched that and said, this is not the direction for me, it's not what I want to do, you saved yourself a lot of time and probably money. So I'm happy that we could help you. I'm happy that we could save you all that struggle.
Yeah. Because that's the tough thing. Once you get into it, you kind of got to take over the finish line, or you've just wasted a bunch of time and money and headache.
Yeah, it's tough.
So if you're halfway in, even if you're like, I don't think I want to do this, it's like you kind of got to finish it out and try to like at least recoup some money or some experience out of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could cut your losses, but at some point, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So that's funny though. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of different steps.
It's a lot of slow building because we're filming it, but I think that it's worth it. You know, sometimes we have to stop what we're doing to get the camera, reposition it to film it. But I'm the one that does all the video editing, and I really enjoy that part of the process. So I think together, Drew and I just wanted to make what we wish we had in 2020 when we were building our shuttle bus. There wasn't a real comprehensive series that just went through from beginning to end. That was informative and maybe a little bit less of a vlog, like equal parts vlog and information. It had to be interesting but informative. And so that was just kind of our goal with the whole thing. And it's always so heartwarming when we get an email or a message or a comment that says how much that series helped.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of moments where, you know, we're tired and we're hot and we're trying to figure out this problem. And it's like, oh, I don't want to film this. I just want to get it done. And so we gutted through some of that, and it was worth it. We're really proud of the series we made, and I'm excited to start another one.
Yeah, me too.
You're like, I was hot today and tired.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the camera part is frustrating at times because it definitely slows the work down. And it, you know, anyone that's done this sort of stuff already knows the work can be slow itself down from the frustration.
Yeah.
So it's like when you get into that groove after being kind of frustrated, and you're like, oh God, I'm gonna jump into this project, and then it's like, oh, Savannah, can you get the camera? Or hold on, do I have to film that? Or like if you're doing two different things, it's like, can you get a shot of this? And it's that can be irritating at times because it definitely slows the flow of things down and it slows the momentum down, and that can be discouraging, but it's worth it. It's just like at the moment, it's like I complain about it all the time.
But we have a 2-camera
But I also
setup.
am the one who always like, oh, wait a minute, you gotta get a shot of that.
I know.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I enjoy the days that I get to sit down and video edit. So
yeah,
we enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love how you make us feel we are a part of this journey. Thank you. I love that. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing for sitting with us for an hour on your Wednesday night. I love your build so much. I'd only buy one from you guys if you and only you guys had a hand in it. That's an amazing compliment. Thank you so much. We try to put our whole heart into everything that we do and just really care about what we're doing. So that means a lot. 1 hour is too short. We want more. Please, this is fun. We will be back next Wednesday. We're at an hour exactly. So we're going to get out of here because Matteo's put himself to bed already.
He's upside down over here.
Yep. So we are going to get out of here. But
you want to say bye?
Matteo.
You want to say bye?
We're going to try to do this most Wednesdays over the course of the summer. And we can just kind of chat about whatever video came out the Sunday before, because as always, we're going to pack those build series episodes with all kinds of steps and information and different things that we're doing during the build. So we want to just hop on here and get to know you guys a little bit better.
Yeah, I guess it'll be somewhat of like a recap. And if you have been following along and have a specific question about any process that week, we might be able to shed a little bit of light on it, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Sort of like current.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bunch of thumbs up right there.
Yep. Don't forget to like the video.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with us. And we'll see you on Sunday for a new video. And then we'll see you next Wednesday to do this all over again. So we'll see you then. Bye, guys. Let's see.
Trying to sponsor